Hello, back on track with Riverrun this week, and Harmonies are done. There they are, in all their loveliness. So that's the main change to the song. I've done some editing on the vocals. See if you can spot what it is, and we'll talk about it at the end of the song. I've exploded the drums out into individual tracks. It was just the easiest way to edit the sleigh bells. I thought I might as well do it now, and then I've got control over them. Panned the congas left and right, they sound nice. And generally just started work on the mixing and finishing. Let's see what we've got.
Painted from memory, summer days green and long, lazy and carefree, drunk on mist and rhyme, dressed like a new dawn, full of dreams yet to come, always the same song, sung with different lines. So when the night is done and the sun sends the shadows reeling into the bright light of your smile, just take a moment to hold me and stop this crazy feeling. Pause for a short while, this river run. Sharing our secrets on the lost sands of time, watching the seasons dance upon the floor. And if a reason cares to send a little sign, paint me a sunset finer than before. So when the night is done and the sun sends the shadows reeling into the bright light of your smile, just take a moment to hold me and stop this crazy feeling. Pause for a short while, this river run. Painted from memory, autumn leaves pure and gold, falling around me, lighting up the sky.
Okay, did you spot the difference? What have I done to the vocals since the last time? They've actually, I think they've improved significantly. It's the breaths. When we did the takes for the original track, I used multiple parts from different takes, which is very often the case. I do that as a matter of course. But I was a little bit too harsh on cutting out all the breaths and incidentals. So the music was basically, she was starting to sing with the first sounding of the syllable and not taking a breath. It just sounded unnatural, it sounded wrong. There were some occasions when I'd let it run organically, like just the phrases fit naturally together and you did get breaths, and then there were others that were just harsh silence, and when the vocals started back up again, it was always jarring to me. So basically in each of those phrases I found different breaths that kind of matched the size of the gap I needed to fit, and basically just replicated them. Lots of tiny little overlaid breath moments, and it is
Creds on the loss.
kind of, I mean, you really zoom in. In fact, was that a click on the sound then?
Creds on the loss.
There's something going on there, isn't there?
Creds on the loss. And
No, it's just Cubase stressing. So big improvement. That's been annoying me ever since we first recorded those vocals, because I knew they were wrong. I didn't know it was the breaths. That was just a punt. I had a guess that was what was wrong with them, but they definitely sounded and felt unnatural to me. Happy with that. The harmonies are obviously taken directly off the piano line I recorded last time, but not as you heard it. I had recorded a 3-part harmony. I said I was working on it and I was basically building it. Thanks very much to Jocelyn in the comments for recommending Scalar 2. Unbelievable, absolutely game-changing VST. That has just done the trick. Poor old Kales. Kales is free and I won't say a bad word about it. Fantastic. You know, if you don't want to pay for this stuff, heartily recommended. But Scalar 2 cost me £50 and it's just fan-bloody-tastic. It does everything that Scalar can, so it can convert all of my scales for me, and that's fabulous. But it can also deal with all sorts of inversions and complex shenanigans with the chords, and you can create patterns of chords as well. So in these harmony sections, you see that there's the first part is A Dorian, the second part is D major. That's not a problem, but and Kales can handle that too, just on multiple tracks. But it makes it really difficult kind of intuitively coming up with the notes for the chords, because I'm basically having to do it all from first principles. So here it is, Scalar in all its glory. So basically I've mapped white keys to the 6th and 7th variation of all these different nonsenses. Just gives me banks and banks and banks of different types of chords to try. And so I can loop the song now and just try different patterns of chords in real time and not have to worry about playing the thing. When I hear a chord that sounds particularly good, I can throw it into a pattern bank and just build up patterns, and then you can switch your key mappings to your patterns instead, and now it plays those patterns. Just utterly magnificent. When I get to grips with it and figure out what it can really do, it does lots of stuff that I'm not interested in. It'll almost kind of write your song for you in terms of the depth of creativity that you can go to into playing arpeggios, ups and downs, and repeated patterns and all sorts of craziness. I'm not so much interested in that kind of stuff. I might dabble in it in the future, but in terms of a chord generating engine, it's absolutely what I want. So that generated the harmonies that Pauline sang, and within maybe half an hour to an hour, and I'm still finding my feet with this new tool, I just had stuff that sounded better. So let's have a look at what we got.
Oh, night is done. Ah, bright light of your smile, hold me now. Ah, roll on, Riverrun.
Aren't I so lucky? So I've panned Harmony 1, which is basically a pair of identically sung lines. So this is just the same thing. We generally tend to do between 3 and 5 takes before she really nails it. And I'm happy if I can get one. If I can get one good take, then but Pauline was particularly on form when we did these. So I got two good ones of everything and thought, sod it, I'm just doubling everything. So I kept the best two.
Night is done.
And panned pair 1 over hard left, pair 2
Bright light of your smile.
hard right, and pair 3
Hold me now.
smack in the centre. And so we've got that kind of separation and a little bit of chorusy richness because each of them is doubled up. Add the vocals in on top of that and it's unctuous. So that's that. I've obviously not finished processing yet. You can hear lots of little mouth clicks and overly long breaths. Now that I've kind of slapped myself on the wrist in terms of like cutting all of the breath out, you need it. Humans breathe. Just be a little bit more subtle with them and cut out the clicks and just vocal artifacts that lie on either side of the samples. So really tidy them up, get them tight. But I've done all of the audio warping on them, so you know that they start at sympathetic moments and finish within the ballpark of each other. Not much to speak on the rest of the song, except that I'm just in the process of like pre-mixing, getting all the sounds nice. I've done a little bit of EQ work on the guitars. I think they're pretty good. Now that I've got the drums split up and the congas separated left and right, that just immediately sounds better, like a fuller, richer sound. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing that I'm working on at the moment is an overall EQ effect on the harmonies themselves. This is very provisional, but I just wanted to get out of the way of the main vocals, which is, you know, that's the meat and two veg of the vocal sound. So I wanted to pull that out and start trying to see whether or not I could get some kind of depth on either side without taking too much of the main vocal. So that's a work in progress. I'll do more on that. Nearly done. A couple of weeks of tweaking and twiddling and get my isotope skills out of mothballs. It's been a while since I've done anything with isotope. I've not done any mixing or production for quite a while now, so anxious to get this one finished sooner rather than later. If you hit subscribe and hit notifications, then you'll find out when the next episode of this and my other content comes out. Hope to see you then. Thanks very much.